World history. Tell about the life and death of Julius Caesar.
Okay, so when Julius Caesar was alive, he was kind of enemies with Pompey. Kind of enemies. Not really enemies, but a bit of enemies, you know. It's kind of enemies with Pompey. And actually, I think Pompey, Pompey was born first. As a child, Julius Caesar knew a lot about his country, I guess. I think he knew a lot about his country. Julius Caesar knew a lot about his country because his uncle Marius was actually a soldier until he got killed, until he got exiled. Until he got exiled. And actually, Julius Caesar, once he had left Rome for literally like 9 years because he had a war with the Britons. And Cicero even said that Cicero even said that he kind of like conquered the Gauls. He conquered the Gauls. And when Pompey died, because he was beheaded and the head was given to Caesar, he was disgusted and also very sad because Pompey was once his friend. Also, when he was reading about the adventures of Alexander the Great of Macedonia, he was crying, and his servants asked why he was crying, and then he answered because when Alexander was his age, he had conquered a lot of cities already, while him is just there, and he hasn't even conquered anything yet. And when he died, this is kind of how he died.
How was Julius Caesar regarded? How was he regarded by the Romans during his life when he was still alive?
Okay, so he was kind of made consul. He was made consul. He was kind of praised. He was praised by the Romans. And they even made the 7th month of the year, right now, July, named after Julius Caesar. And he died when he just went into the Senate for the last time, and while he was just sitting in his chair, everyone got their swords and went against them. Even his friend Brutus, his good friend Brutus. And so he had to say to Brutus, "You too, Brutus," and then that was his last word, Brutus. And then he died. I think he was he was stabbed with a sword. Yeah.
So he was regarded as what?
As their kind of like king, but not really king. Actually, wait, there's actually one more part before Caesar died. It was when a man was going to put the crown on Caesar's head, the crown of olive tree, but Caesar wouldn't accept it because he thought that the king of all Romans was Jupiter or Zeus. Yeah.
So he was
was
known as the what?
Like the hero of Rome.
One of the greatest Romans in the world at that time, of his time. Okay?
Okay.
That's what I was looking for. It was mentioned in your book. He was one of the greatest Romans ever. Tell about the Roman Empire.
Oh, okay. So the Roman Empire, the first emperor of the Roman Empire was Caesar Augustus, who was Julius Caesar, like the uncle, I think, of Augustus Caesar, because Augustus Caesar is a relative of Julius Caesar. The Romans, I guess in honor of their emperor, they named the 8th month of the year, right now, August, after him, Augustus Caesar, after Augustus Caesar. And when Augustus Caesar was still ruling the Roman Empire, Jesus was born. Christ Jesus was born, and the Jews, they wanted a powerful conqueror, but not this Jesus Christ. So they tortured him and crucified him. Now back to the Roman Empire. So they crucified him and tortured him.
My question is about the Roman Empire, ano?
Back to the Roman Empire. Okay, so Augustus, he kind of ruled the empire nicely, but there's no Roman Empire anymore. But
During that time, that's my question. Tell me something about the Roman Empire during the time of the Caesars.
Okay. Okay, so I already said it was ruled by Augustus Caesar.
Yes.
And August was named after Augustus Caesar. Also, already said that.
What made it great at that time? That's
Oh,
the
yeah.
question.
Okay, so Augustus, I think he also made the Appian Way, and then what made it great was that Augustus made a lot of buildings, and temples, and just as kind of like Perseus when he was still alive. He also made a lot of buildings like Perseus, and that's kind of what made it great. Yeah.
Tell the story of the sons of the Caliph.
Okay. So there was once this Caliph who wanted his sons to become really, really smart. So he kind of like he hired a wise man to teach his sons. Now, in the olden times, when people are going inside of the house, when people are going out inside of the house, actually people are going outside of the house, they will put on their shoes, and when they're going inside of the house, they're going to take off their shoes. And one time when the wise man went out, and the sons were waiting for him. And the sons were waiting for the wise man to come back home. Actually, they both wanted to hold his shoes. Actually, wait, no. The wise man was going somewhere, but he was still inside, and both of the children wanted to hold his shoes, but they decided they will just both hold one of the shoes. And so when the wise man was now going to go outside, he saw the two children holding his shoes, and he thought this was generous of them. And so he told the And so he told the Caliph, and when the Caliph heard of this, he gave his sons gold. He gave his sons some gold, for helping the wise man, because yeah. That's it.
Helping the wise man?
Well, giving the wise man's shoes to him.
What was the lesson there?
To be helpful.
Are you sure? You remember that the two sons are the sons of the Caliph,
Yeah.
and the wise man is just a teacher.
Yeah.
Oh. It was the lesson there that what does the story wants us to learn from that story?
If we help someone, we will. If we help someone, we might get something in exchange. You know.
Okay, tell me your favorite story from 50 Famous People.
Okay.
Ay, naku.
Okay, so it was the king and the bees. So
That's from the second term, anak.
second term.
The King and the Beast?
Yeah. Second term, right?
Yeah. That's from the second term, anak. Yeah, that's from the second term.
I thought it's not from the second term.
It's from the second term, I'm telling you.
Okay. So, I think it's the shepherd boy painter, or is that also second term?
That's first term.
Shepherd boy painter is
Yes. We're done with that. The Lad Who Rode Side Saddle. How a Prince Learned to Read. Read and you will know. The Sons of the Caliph. The Boy and the Robbers. A Lesson in Justice. The General and the Fox. And the Bomb.
okay. So my favorite is, I think, The Boy and the Robbers. Yeah. My favorite is The Boy and the Robbers.
You tell that story. You narrate it.
So once, there was a boy that, he was kind of being sent. He was being sent. I think he was being sent to a famous school. And he was with merchants. He was with merchants. And now, this boy, he never lied. I forgot his name, but he never lied. And while he was still traveling to this school, and there were robbers came to kind of like, robbers came. And then one of those robbers asked the child if he had any money, like anything good, valuable on him. Then the boy said that there was gold. Okay, under his hat there was gold. Gold under like the fabric, of his hat. But the robber didn't believe him, so he said, but the robber didn't believe him, so he went to one of the merchants, and then another robber came up to the child and asked 2 if he had anything valuable. And then he said to the robber, yes, it's under the fabric of, yes, there's gold under the fabric of my hat. But that robber also didn't believe him. So he went to a rich merchant, to another rich merchant. But so the leader of the robbers, he said to the boy, my boy, do you have anything valuable? Because, yeah, do you have anything valuable? Then the boy said, yes, I do. I have already told your two of your robbers that I have gold under the fabric of my hat, but they will not believe me. So, I don't know. The leader of the robbers took his hat and then ripped it. Then he found gold. Then he said to the boy, but why would you lick it out so quickly? Then the boy said, because I have been told never to lie. Yeah.
So what happened after?
So the leader of the robbers, he remembered on how much times he had lied and kind of been a coward. So he said to the boy, for being honest, here you shall keep the gold. And so he said to his robbers. So the leader of the robbers said to the robbers that they should go now. They should go. Yeah.